Alright, we go to game 2 of the tournament, my Bretonnians versus an Orc and Goblin army. This guy I'm playing, I've met him several times before, but I've never played him before. Super nice guy, brand new to Warhammer Fantasy. I think he's been playing for just a few months. And he did a lot of things during the game that really surprised me, and I didn't know if it was because he was doing something tricksy, using some tricks he had learned, or if it was because he was new to Warhammer. So it made for kind of an interesting game. So on my far right, he's got a unit of 10 Spider Riders. That alone is something I've never seen before. But Spider Riders, it's a group of Black Orcs, some Squig Herders, some more Orcs, Night Goblins, Orcs of the BSB, more Night Goblins. In the woods, he put 2 Spear Chukkas, and we talked about it a lot. He knows those. There's more than 2 inches of woods in front of him, and so those guys can't see directly in front of him. And he said he understood that, and he was looking, he just wanted to make sure they could shoot at angles as my knights approached his other units. And I said certainly they can see at an angle, they just can't see straight ahead. So he was cool with that. Behind them there's a shaman, and then there's his general on a wyvern. It looks like the wyvern's in the woods. It's actually not. It's on a huge base that's twice the size as it should be. So the front half of it is not actually the base. So the wyvern is actually just behind the woods. My assumption is I don't think he knew that he would automatically go first, and he was afraid of getting picked off by my trebuchet. That's what I think happened there. Anyway, he's got a couple pump wagons and then a chariot. So on my far right side, I put my Pegasus Knights over here because I want them to go up and take care of his Spider Riders, get them out of the way, and then jump behind his lines. My small unit of Men-at-Arms just to provide a diversion. My big unit of Men-at-Arms to just hold things up the middle. Archers, and then all my knights I put on the left. And my thought was to take care of his little chariot thingies on the left, and then swing down his line and just pick them off unit by unit as I go down. So I'm using my fast cav as a meat shield. I put them down before he ever placed his bolt throwers, and I knew that I would hide my knights behind him. So got Knights Errant, Questing Knights with my BSB. BSB has Sword of Might and Insignia of the Quest, which is after he takes 1 wound, he has a 3-up ward save. I've got 4 Grail Knights on the hills, my trebuchet. Knights Errant with the Errantry Banner, my general, who's got Killing Blow on large targets, and the Knights of the Realm with Damsel. So again, I'm going to take care of these little chariots as quickly as possible, and then hopefully just swing down his line. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So he decides to go first, and really unfortunate rolling with his pump wagons because both of them went more than 8 inches. So I know for a fact that I can charge both of them with my Knights Errant and my general. So those things are as good as dead. And other than that, he didn't move, just stayed completely still. And so again, I don't know if that's inexperience. I don't know if it's a certain strategy he's using. Don't know. It did really surprise me. The only thing he did was move his general into the woods. And again, I was real clear with him. You can't fly out of the woods. Once you move in, the only thing you can do is turn around and move back out. But he said he knew it, and that's what he wanted to do. So Brett turn 1. I finally Pegasus Knights up to where his Spider Riders can't see me. And next turn, I should be able to charge them no matter where they go. Otherwise, I move up, as you can see. With my fast cav, I was hoping to draw out his fanatics, but there must have been slightly more than 24 inches between us because I'm just out of range of them. So I'm still using them as a meat shield so those bolt throwers don't pick at my knights. And I keep my knights back just a little bit. I know I don't want to turn on charge 2. I need to get the fanatics out of the way and then let them just get away from here. And in hindsight, that delay, I mean, it's just a delay. There's only 6 turns in the games, and so it's going to be, turn 3 or turn 4 before I can charge if I need those fanatics to get out of the way. So you can see the charges I made on the far left. Archers shot at the Squig Herders, killed a bunch of them. Easily took care of the pump wagons, did my overrun. And what I was hoping to do is overrun enough to where that chariot couldn't countercharge me, and it didn't quite work with the Knights Errant. But I'm not overly concerned about it. I'm starting with a static res 4 there, and I've got a good armor save and ward save. So, but I like the idea of that Knight Errant being able to take care of the war machine and then pursue through the woods and come out on the other side behind his lines. So turn 2 moves the spiders into the woods. It doesn't do him any good. I can still see him with my Pegasus Knights. I can use my ground movement and get into the woods. I still have plenty of distance, and so he's just going to get a flank charge by me. He moved his Night Goblins on the right forward, and then that released a Fanatic because they came within 8 inches of my fast cav, and so he sent the Fanatic straight down in front of his lines. Not a bad tactic. Charged these guys. I was flirting with the idea of fleeing, but I didn't want to flee and get right in front of all my other knights. And when it came down to it, I knew that it's strength 5 impact hits and some strength 4 attacks, but overall, starting with static 4, I thought I'd probably be okay there. So, and I was. It seemed like he kind of got, I don't know if lucky, I don't know what his odds were, but I was surprised that I lost 3 knights. But even beating him by 1 and being within 12 inches of his general, he still broke and fled. And I tried to restrain, and even being 12 inches from my general, I failed to restrain and chased him right off the board. So, not the worst thing could have happened to me, but it kind of screwed up my plans a little bit. I was hoping to hit that bolt thrower and then charge behind his lines. But such is life. That could have gone worse. So, bet turn 2. If you look on the far right, my Pegasus Knights charge into the flank of his Spider Riders. I move up, as you can see. My fast cav moves up a little bit. It draws out Fanatics, and looks like they lose a couple guys. He probably only lost 1 to a Fanatic. He must have lost 1 in the other turn to a bolt thrower or something. So you can see the 3 Fanatics, and they're really just kind of right in my way. I don't want to run through them. They're just slowing me down. I'm not worried about what they're going to do eventually, but right now I kind of a hassle. So, miracle of all miracles, I actually had a spell go off. I have a level 1 damsel. She never has a spell go off, but I rolled for Beast Cowers and kept it, and I got Irresistible Force. So with my general behind his lines, I can see him, and I put him there thinking that his general would probably fly away. So if his general stayed, I could charge with my general, and if he didn't, my general's in the rear of his troops and can cause some problems for him. But once Beast Cowers went off, I was thinking, wow, that's great. That's a free flank charge into his general. I brought my Knights Errant back onto the board, and my intent was to bring them into the flank of that bolt thrower so I could hit it and overrun into the other bolt thrower. But when it came time to charge on turn 3, I realized I was in his front, which helped in other ways. Anyway, got a spell off, kind of weird. And of course, I beat the Spider Riders pretty easily. Wasn't able to run them down, and so my Pegasus Knights are out there. I might be in charge distance of his Black Orcs. That's really the only bummer there. I was hoping I would have run down those Spider Riders. But anyway, there we go. That's turn 2. We move to turn 3 in the next round.